Hey guys, the Chicken is here. We are back today, another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, we're bringing you your Season 48 tech tree guide. We're going to go over everything. This is a very confusing tech tree, so I'm going to try to cover this from all levels, from if you have a lot of tech to start or if you don't have a lot of tech to start. We got a few different paths that are going to work for a few different people depending on your starting tech. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I know I always say it, but I do appreciate it if you guys hit that subscribe button. It does help me out. And I'm going to be posting Season 48 videos each and every single day as the metas change, as the attacks change, as the base changes, and as the tech tree pathing changes. So make sure to stay up to date on that. And of course, I do appreciate those of you that are throwing in that code CHICKEN in the shop. It does expire every 7 days, so I do appreciate it if you're going to grab instant training for the season to re-up that code CHICKEN. Alright, so let's get into it. So here's the base that I'm rocking. We'll get into that in a second. We got to get into the tech tree first. So, what do we want to do? So, I went with Rifles and Zookas right out of the gate. This is your first big decision of the season. Rifles and Zookas versus Heavy Rush or Heavies and Zookas or whatever. And I think there's two different options. I think if you have more tech, Rifles and Zookas can get you by for the meantime because we can get to Bombardiers later, right? We can get to Bombardiers and they're not going to be that far off. If you don't have a lot of starting tech, I think Heavies are not a bad choice. Heavy Rush is good against some bases that don't have a lot of DBD. Heavy and Zuka is not bad. We're going to need Heavies at some point later on anyways once we get Heavy Choppers like we do every season, so they're not a terrible investment. I'm not saying that they're bad, it's just I chose to go with Rifles and Zukas out of the gate just because I wanted to keep moving forward a little bit more. I didn't want to spend too many keys back here if we didn't need to. So, moving forward, we have Shock Mines. Actually, yeah, so bottom or top path. I would skip Grenadiers. Sure, they're good against bases that you can't clear, but I would get, everything else here is good. It just depends. If you go Rifle and Zuka, go Shock Mine. If you go Heavy and Flare, you probably want to go Green Mines. And then go up here. This multi-node, it seems to be better to take cannons. It depends on what you're getting hit with. If you're getting hit with a lot of Zuka attacks, and you have maxed out mortars, switch to the mortars. All my defenses, I put them at tick 4, just for right now, and then I've upgraded some of them to max after getting a rank chest. So yeah, as we move forward, we've got a lot of mines. Now, the mines I think we can actually skip for right now. They are good, but since there's riflemen, we're able to get through them for the most part. And the bases are kind of small, so it's kind of working. The thing is we have critters too, right? So we've got all these mines, but we also have critters. So moving after 3 engines, what do we need to look at? So Brick is definitely good with Battle Ores, with Iron Will, and with Cluster Grenade. If you have Heavies, I would go the bottom path with Brick because she's better with Heavies for sure. But yeah, other than that, I wanted to move forward because my first push point, what got us to rank 15, was getting the boom cannons. Boom cannons were huge. I had to make the decision of boom cannons or troop damage. That was one of my big decisions. And I opted for boom cannons first. And that turned out to be the right move because the troop damage hasn't really helped me out that much. It's kind of been, 50-50 toss-up since then. So that's the starting tech tree, guys. Just like we said in the sneak peek, if you're lost, if you don't know what to do, if it's not working for you, go defensive. It's never a bad idea to go defensive, and it seems like that is kind of playing out into the meta. So here's the base right now. I just switched to it. I haven't used it yet, so I can't say if it's good or bad at the moment. But we're going to dive into some hits and just kind of show you guys how we're hitting. And then hopefully get up to rank 16-ish. I forget how many stars that we have. What are we at now? 15 and 22, so we need to win 4 hits if my math is correct. So yeah, we'll see if we can do that. But yeah. So, we'll see if the base is good. All the bases are pretty well the same. Just pick one off the leaderboard that you like that matches your tech. If you can't try this one. But yeah, so for Rifle Zuka, I'm going to go over this attack. I'll show you some heavy hits as well. But for Rifle Zuka, it seems to be better going 5-3. Slow trickle. That's the biggest thing with Riflemen. Slow, slow, slow. If you get too excited and you start putting one in right after another, that's when you get into trouble and they all die right away. So, slow trickles of rifles. You can throw the Zukas in right at the beginning, and then just critter the mines, med kits here and there to try to keep them alive, and that's pretty well it. That's pretty well it. This guy's got a flotty at the very end. I hate those. I might try a split here. Or I might try to critter that flotty. Because the problem is that Flotty is going to kill all of my troops using rifles and Zukas. So we want to get away from that if we can. Okay, not a bad split, not a bad split. Okay, so you see right here, pretty well right when the riflemen reach the bottom of the ramp, that's when we want to throw the next ones in. And be very careful, whenever you drop your troops on the right side, see how these guys go over here? They're going to go over to whatever the closest defense is, right? So usually, that means they're going to hug the wall. So you can't really drop on the right-hand side unless you have flares. It just doesn't really work out. So let's go here. I got to take out this Flotty. Let's go here and here. Those guys on the left, they've just got that one engine to take down. Oh, ouch, ouch, ouch. You see what I mean? That Flotty, man, it is deadly. Thankfully, all I need is one bucket of critters, and we will be able to take down this base, but we're not going to get a very good time now. Maybe actually if those Zukas switch back. Come on, girls, come on. Get back over there. Get back over there. Get moving, get moving, get moving, get moving. So, that's the idea. I mean, if we can split up the hit and go a little bit faster, obviously that's going to be the better way to do it, but it's tough, especially when you don't have flares, right? Because you can't control where they're going, so you're kind of just leaving it up to fate at that point. Let's see, I don't know what's going on here. He's got critters. It looks like he fizzled. He looks like he fizzled. So Anansi, 003, GGs, and there we go, guys. There we go. That's what we want to see. So right now, we're currently, just to take a quick look at the leaderboards here, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. We are number 159 globally. And if we take a look at some of the top guys, what do they have? They have 4 ERs, I believe. This is not really, helpful for anybody else out there, but just the fact that he's there is kind of crazy. So yeah, 4 ERs with all the fixins. So it looks like going defensive and jumping to 4 is kind of the best route to take at this point. But again, depending on your starting tech, you might be better off to take heavies in brick. It's going to allow you the best chance to clear because things are going to get defensive really, really, really quickly. So yeah, that's what we want to try to do. So let's dive into another one here. We'll see if we can get gold in this video. That would be cool. If not, we'll just wait till chest time, I guess, and go back in. But yeah, a lot of tanks out there at the moment too. I mean, the other decision you got to make is going between tanks and warriors. I didn't plan on using tanks at all. Apparently on these 4 ERs, you're supposed to go from the right-hand side. That wall scares me. I don't know. I've had more success going this way. We'll see. Yeah, so between tanks and warriors. If you're going to use tanks, get tanks. If you're not going to use tanks, then the warriors are cheaper. I'm not using either of them, so I opted for warriors. Yeah, so I don't know. Tanks are usually not a good idea. They usually don't help out that much, in terms of the entire season, especially this season where it's very expensive to go whatever way we do end up going. So yeah, I wouldn't go with tanks unless we absolutely had to, and I don't think that we absolutely have to right now. Is kind of my thought process. All right, so we want a slow trickle here. I think this guy had the DBD, so it's going to be tough. I've gone against 2 other 4 ERs. One of them I cleared. One of them crushed me. So I don't know what's going to happen here. That mortar just took a lot of Zukas, so that's not really a good start. The way I like to do it is I like to really slow trickle in the riflemen, and then I'll just throw critters in periodically. Even though I'm throwing them into splash damage, we kind of need that just to get everything off of our troops, and just that split second where they're distracted as they turn seems to really work. So yeah, let's just keep on doing that. Keep on. And I don't think we need any more med kits, so we're just going to keep going here. Now, the 4 ER guys, usually they're using something slow. Usually they're the ones I've seen, they're using tanks or grenadiers, or actually not grenadiers, but they're using something weird. So yeah, most of them have fizzled on my base, honestly. So let's see right here. Boom, 220. So as long as we can clear the 4s, that's the goal. So 220, let's see what he's going to do. He's going rifles and Zukas as well. So it's looking okay, unless he can do some sort of crazy critter drop on the on that top yard. It doesn't seem like he's going to be able to have the time to get all of these engines down and keep moving forward. But let's see. 3 feet. I recognize that name. I think he's a pretty good player. But it looks like he's going. It looks like he's going to Thistle City here, guys. And you know, the difference was I was in rank 13 for the longest time with pretty much this same tech. I haven't changed much. It was the boom cannons. I don't know why, but getting the boom cannons shuts down Rifleman. That is what his plan was. He was trying to critter. He must have max critters or something, but this is gonna be annoying if a couple of them survive. Nope, none of them survived. Okay, so 3 feet's done. GG's. Boom, 11 stars. That brings us up to 43. 43, so if we win this one, then the next one will be boss fight, guys. Let's keep those fingers crossed, knock on wood, pray for chicken. But yeah, so I think this season, like we said in the sneaks, it's hard to say exactly where to go. We're going to have to play it kind of day by day and see what ends up being good. But just going defensive out of the gate, that seems to be the way so far anyways. Yeah, until we can get, you know, I'm probably going to go 4ER and then Bombardier next because things are going to get really defensive really quickly. And I don't want to use rifles and Zookas. I don't really like using Zookas and warships. Honestly, I find them, you know, a tough troop to use because it doesn't take much for things to go wrong with them, right? So I think this one we can split on either side. 1, 2... See what happens there. I'll throw one kind of rifle in the middle. I don't really know what else to do with them. This guy doesn't have mines, doesn't have flamethrowers, so I mean, we should be able to just kind of run through it. These bases are always scary whenever they don't have a lot of defense because you know he's cooking good with something on offense. I'm going to go here with these guys. And yeah, let's just throw this rifleman in here. Let's see. I'm gonna critter this machine gun. Then I'm gonna critter that one. Because then everything else is pretty well distracted other than the mortars. Okay, probably didn't need that med kit. I mean, there's nothing splashing them, so. Yeah, so I knew it. He's got something for us on offense, it looks like. Yep. Even though I don't know if we could do that any faster, but either way, guys, there it is. I hope that's enough to get you started out on your day one of season 48. Definitely an interesting season and having some fun with it so far. Man, 3 seconds. 3 seconds are right there. So, hope you guys enjoy. As always, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Catch you next one, guys. Chicken out. Back.